Buying a blue check mark on Instagram is diabolical. Working a 9 to 5, you're not gonna get rich. Most men and women only buy luxury items and impress other people. Like tip, 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 tip. Baby, everywhere you go, they asking for a tip. Hit 20%. Don't do that, because I'm gonna figure it out. Disrespectfully, why do you care? You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another unpopular opinions. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything, because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a lamb. As y'all seen by the title of the video, your girl is back again with an unpopular opinion. Y'all really love my last unpopular opinion, so we gonna keep these videos going because I got a lot to talk about. So my first unpopular opinion is buying a blue check mark on Instagram is diabolical. Blue check marks used to be exclusive for celebrities. Like, now that everyone's able to purchase one, and honestly y'all, it's worse. It's worse because it's a subscription. You're paying a monthly bill to have a blue check. Like, how does that make sense? Like, blue check marks used to be exclusive to celebrities because they were a celebrity and people actually wanted to be them. Like, they weren't being pretentious. Like, I'm thinking Drake is in my DM because I see a blue check mark, but no, y'all, I click on the profile and Bob 22001 with 3 followers is in my DMs. Like, he want to be, why are y'all so pretentious? Like, why do you want to be moved to the front and have a blue check mark? Like, I'm sorry. And if you're watching this and you got a blue check mark, I'm not coming for your neck. No shade, no shade, no shade. But it's diabolical. Like, what's the purpose of having a blue check mark? Instagram is greedy. That's why they started offering anybody and everybody a blue check mark. But the purpose of having a blue check mark, it was given. Like, you had to earn it. Like, you can have 800,000 followers, and Instagram still used to not think that you was important enough to have a blue check mark. So the fact that everyone can buy one now, it kind of just shows where society is going. Like, you're purchasing $8.99, you're giving Instagram $8.99 to be put in the top of somebody's Instagram, to look more important than you actually are. It's diabolical. My next unpopular opinion is that there's no overnight success. Y'all know on the internet there's been this rise of digital products and how I just made $50,000 in 24 hours. Y'all know y'all be seeing all these outlandish reels, and they almost reeled me in and they almost got me. But I thought to myself, if you were really making $50,000 in a day, would you really be on Instagram trying to convince me to buy a $20 ebook to also make $50,000? Y'all have to realize you are the product. If someone's trying to sell you something telling you you can make all of this money, they wouldn't be on Instagram. Because I know if I just made $50,000, baby, I'm gonna be in Hawaii with a coconut in my right hand and pinky is gonna be up. Like, I'm gonna be in Hawaii telling you how I just made $50,000 in one day. I'm not gonna be sitting at my house, I don't know, y'all, in a room with no curtains, blinds open, telling you, hey, this is how I made $50,000. This is how you can make. Y'all, there is no overnight success. And I know every time we open this app, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, they all are trying to convince us that you can make money, you can do this. Like, people are always being so open. And as a content creator, I appreciate the transparency. I really do. But I take everything that I see on this internet, half of the stuff that I see on the internet, seriously, just simply because people are always trying to sell you something. Like, you are the product. A person is not making $50,000 a day from their side hustle that they're trying to sell you. They making $50,000 because 2,500 of you done bought a $20 ebook, and that's $50,000. Like, there's no overnight success. Don't believe the hype. They almost got me. And let me say this is not for everyone. I do believe there's actually people out there making a bag. There is people out there, but those are like the 1%, like 1%. If you buy a $20 course from someone and they're telling you how they also made this money off of selling a course that somebody else made and then off of reselling, y'all don't see how that sounds? Do you honestly really think that they're getting rich off this? You get what I mean? Like, exactly. My next unpopular opinion is working a 9 to 5, you're not going to get rich. Like, that's not how rich people get rich. Society and the government is trying to convince us if you go to work and you make good grades and you get a good job and then you have a nice salary, the white picket fence, like, y'all, all of that was a lie. That was a system to keep us working. That's slavery. Like, they didn't get rich by doing that. Bill Gates didn't get rich by doing that. He created something. Y'all are making them rich. You're never gonna be rich by working a 9 to 5. I'm not saying you can't have a comfortable life and be successful in your life with working a 9 to 5. You definitely can. You could be happy with a nice salary at a 9 to 5, but you're not ever gonna be rich. Paper money, it's not real, y'all. That's just something to control poor people in the middle class. Real people, they don't even use money. They don't use money. They're rich due to generational wealth, funding wars. That's how rich people are actually rich. They're not rich because they obtained so much money. But playing into consumerism and overconsumption does not make you rich. I don't know how many times I have seen people assume and perceive certain people as rich because they have a luxury bag collection or because they have 50 perfumes and 30. Y'all don't realize all these influencers and content creators, they getting this stuff for free. Like, that bar back there that y'all want to buy, that bar, that was for free. I would have never paid $300 for a 3-tier wall bar. Like, I would have never paid that. Like, a lot of influencers and content creators get stuff for free. Y'all are assuming, oh, they rich because they have this luxury collection, this luxury, this. Y'all, that does not make you rich. Or I have seen a whole bunch of those little glow up videos, how to glow up. Anytime people are talking about how to glow up, they always mention buying this and having this type of skincare routine and doing this. And no, you don't. You don't need no bubble bath scent. You don't need no Baccarat perfume. Like, you don't need all of these things. Like, having materialistic things does not make you rich. I know people like to be perceived as rich, but it doesn't make you rich. And this topic leads me into my next unpopular opinion, which is, I feel like, I don't want to say all, but I do feel like most men and women only buy luxury items such as like high-end brands like Gucci, YSL, Bottega. They only buy these brands to impress other people. Like, they don't actually honestly like this. Like, I honestly believe that 90% of Gucci's customers, they don't really like Gucci. They're not buying it due to the quality and the durability of the fabric. They're not buying it because of that. They're buying it because they want to be perceived as rich. And I honestly recall watching this video. Where was that video at? I think it was on YouTube, y'all. It was this video where they had a whole bunch of rich people go into a Gucci store and they had to guess which one was the fake, which one was the real. And at the end of it, it was like a social experiment, and the people were like, oh, this is definitely the real one. This is definitely worth $50,000. I could just tell by the quality. And at the end, the store owner ended up telling them that all of these are fake. Like, there's no real, there's no, like, they couldn't even tell if they were fake or real. So you telling me you spending $100,000 on bags and shoes and clothes, and you can't even tell what that it was a fake? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all are buying stuff not because y'all genuinely love the brand and y'all love the quality. Y'all want to be perceived a certain way. You care about what people think about you. So that's why you buying these luxury items. That's why anytime there's a new bracelet or a new item that's coming out, everybody goes and get them. What's those the Van Cleef bracelets that everybody was buying? They was buying all those bracelets because people found out how much those bracelets cost. So if you got one of those Van Cleefs on your arm, you're perceived as rich. Like, oh, she got a $20,000 bracelet on. It's a dupe. But y'all are assuming like, oh, she got money, her body tea. Like, no, y'all. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people buy things for other people and not because they actually like the things. And that goes along with the Birkins. Remember when Cardi B, Lil Baby, and all the rappers were talking about Birkins in their songs, and then people stopped really buying Birkins and they moved on to like the next exclusive item was, because when they know that it's accessible to everybody, when everybody can get one, they no longer want it. that means that they didn't genuinely like it. You didn't genuinely like the Birkin bags. You only got it because how it made you look. People perceive like, oh, if she got a Birkin, she rich. You know what I mean? And that goes the same with the BBLs. Unpopular opinion. BBLs are going out of style because everyone has them. Now everybody's on Ozempic and crack. Like everybody want to look. Y'all, it's actually crazy. Now that y'all can go and put BBLs on payment plans and Lil Ray Ray in the hood and Lil Neek Neek around the corner got a BBL, nobody wants them. A lot of things that people want, they only want it because they feel like it's exclusive. And when it no longer becomes exclusive and it becomes accessible to everybody, they no longer want it. Why? Because they never wanted it for them. They wanted it for their image. My next unpopular opinion is tipping is optional. Tipping is not mandatory. Tipping should be something that is earned. Like if you earned a tip, you should get a tip. And I'm only bringing this up because I started to notice that a lot of restaurants and businesses are requiring a tip before they even provide you with any service. And I also seen this topic on TikTok where dashers were saying, oh, if I don't at least see a 15% tip, I'm not going to go get their order. And it's just like, wait a damn minute. I didn't put you on payroll. I didn't tell you to sign up for DoorDash. Like, I honestly do believe people should tip, but I only think you should tip when the quality is there. Like, if the quality of the service is not there, why should I tip you? Tip, 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 tip. Baby, everywhere you go, they asking for a tip. And I was starting to feel bad. Like, the other day, I went to Panera Bread and I ordered me some soup with bread. And I was feeling so embarrassed, y'all, because I was trying not to tip them. Because what am I tipping you for? I'm picking up my order. All you did is bring my order up. And a little pop-up came and it said to add a tip percentage. And I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And y'all, that's a trick. They try to make it very complicated so you can just hit 20%. Don't do that because I'm going to figure it out. So she walked away and I'm trying to figure it out before she get back because I'm embarrassed. And I'm just like, hold up. Wait a damn minute. Like, why do I gotta feel embarrassed about not giving her a tip for ringing up my food? That's what you want payroll for. That's your job. You working at a cash register. You're a cashier. That is literally what you're getting paid for. That's your hourly rate. Like, do I got anybody on payroll? I started to think like, do I have people on payroll? No. So I waited until she got back and I just asked her. I flipped the thing around and I'm like, how do I get past this? And she's like, oh, if you don't, I don't want to tip. How do I get past this? So she shows me and I had to push like 3-4 buttons to get out and actually pay y'all. I was just like, wow, y'all are making this difficult because y'all want the consumers. I just wanted my bread and my soup. I didn't want to give Lil Susu a 20% tip. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is just normal. This is a part of her job. I shouldn't have to tip her for ringing me up. That's literally what her job is. Like, the tipping is getting out of hand. And another thing, the ideology of tipping is westernized. When you go to a lot of other countries, they get paid for their service. They get paid for their job. So they don't have their hand out. Like when I went to South Africa and he brought me my receipt back, he didn't bring me a pen. And I had to ask him to bring me a pen. And I'm like, hey, can I get a pen? And he was just like, oh, yeah, sure. And he didn't even care if I was going to tip him or not. Why? Because he already got paid. He already got paid. And the crazy thing was, y'all, this was a bartender. Bartenders and servers, that's how they make their money. He wasn't a cashier. He was a bartender. And he didn't care to give me a pin back to get a tip because he was already paid. So the problem shouldn't be on the consumers to tip people for bad customer service because let's be honest. Half of these people that's working in these fast food places, they overwork, they tired, they don't even want to be there. So you getting below subpar customer service on top of them expecting a tip. And they on Instagram and Twitter talking about some, oh, as a dasher, if they don't at least give me 15 to 20%, I'm not even coming to get it. It's just like, what? Let me just move to the next unpopular opinion. My next unpopular is I don't understand the fascination and the curiosity with men and honestly anybody caring why or why not Black women wear their natural hair. What is with this? On my last video and on several other people's comments, I have been seeing a lot of white men and men in general commenting on why do Black women wear wigs? Why do Black women never wear their natural hair? Disrespectfully, why do you care? Why are y'all so fascinated what we do with our hair. Like, quite frankly, I know why. I'm a black woman, so I know why. Personally, I'm a wig influencer, so I get paid to wear somebody else's hair. And then two, our hair is hard to manage. But why? Like, I don't even know why. I'm mad that I just explained that to y'all. Like, why do y'all care so much? Like, why do y'all care? And also for the other black women that care what other black women have going on with their hair, why do you care? Like, why are y'all so fascinated and why do y'all care so much? Even earlier this year, I recently got a haircut and I posted my haircut on Instagram, and y'all won't believe, like, y'all can't even fathom the amount of black women that was in my DMs, and they were just like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to see your natural hair. I can't believe you cut your hair, blah 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 blah. And I'm kind of thinking, like, I've worn my natural hair in several videos out in a fro before. But anyway, why have you wanted to see my natural hair for years? Like, I don't know if she thought she ate with that comment, y'all, but I was honestly freaked out. Like, when she was like, I've been wanting to see your hair for years. I've been so curious about my hair. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I have never cared what another person has done to their hair. Yes, I have opinions on certain hairstyles and how it look on certain people, but I have never cared to the point where I spent any of my brain cells thinking, why do people do this? Why do people, like, I don't care. If a black woman wants to wear a raccoon on her head, that's her business. Like, I personally don't care. I think it's weird that you care so much. Like, why do y'all care what other people do with their hair? It's their hair. Like, are you paying for them to get their hair done? Like, why do y'all care if we wear our natural hair, if we don't wear our natural hair? Like, I don't get it. My next unpopular opinion is using the fact that someone is young to have a bad or a poor moral compass is not an excuse. Like, that should not be an excuse. Like, this one right here grinds my gears, dog. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, well, they're young, or oh, well, they're this, and they think this way because they're young. It's just like, I was also 20 at one point, and that was not my mindset. I did not think like that. Like, it's not okay to excuse people's bad behavior or bad thinking or bad mannerisms just because they're young. You can't be like, oh, they're young. You know what? Young people also turn old. Those same young people with the same bad moral compass, they're gonna become old people. And then one day you're gonna be like, oh, he's 40 years old and he thinks like this and he's the, why? Because he was that same 20-year-old that she was just like, oh, he's young, he'll just, no, that is not an excuse. Like, I hate when people do this. I watch a lot of court shows and a lot of judge shows, y'all, and every time I watch those shows, the judge is on there and they're like, how old are you? And he's like 18, and they're like, oh, okay, you will learn. When he gonna learn? When he gonna learn? When? Tell him he wrong. Tell him he wrong today. Tell him he wrong at 18. Like, tell him he's wrong. Like, I think it's super important to not use age as an excuse. If I have a child and my child is 5 years old and he's right on the couch, I'm not gonna say, oh, he's 5, it's okay, he'll learn from right. No, I'm telling him he's wrong today, and I'm telling him why he's wrong. He's getting a thesis statement. He's writing a paragraph on why he's wrong and why he should not write on my couch. And I'm not even trying to be harsh, y'all, but I personally hate when people use that as an excuse, or they use the same excuse for men to cheat on women. They be like, oh, well, he was in his 20s and he was 21. Like, do you really think he was gonna be loyal to you and only be, yes. I thought he was only gonna be with me for the rest of his life. Why? Because that's what he told me. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because he's young? I'm young. And when I said it was only his, it was only his. So that's not an excuse. They honestly do that more with boys. They use that excuse for males a lot. He's young, he's, no, please correct your kids and tell them at whatever age that they're wrong when they're wrong. Like, poor thinking and dumb decisions as a child or an adolescent, you're gonna become a dumb adult. Like, you're gonna be making those same mistakes because no one ever told you that you were wrong. They use the excuse, oh, that you were young. Like, young people get old. Tell people that they're wrong, and y'all be wondering why there's 40 years old people walking around and they don't know how to say sorry because y'all never required them to say sorry. I told y'all that one was gonna get me. That one was gonna get me out of character because y'all, I despise that. I have a, let's go to the next unpopular opinion. My final unpopular opinion is after you go through a man's phone, you're not always going to be hurt or mad. I hate when people say, oh, don't go through a man's phone unless you're looking for something. Like, what you don't know won't hurt you. It's like, baby, no, I want to know and I'm going to hurt him. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all love saying, like, if you go through a man's phone or if you're looking for something, you're gonna find something. Like, I don't know how we came to this conclusion or who ideology was behind this thinking, but that's not true. If a man is cheating on you and you go through his phone and
Nope,
you find
you
something,
see, that
you
don't make
found
no sense
something because he
either.
was
Because
cheating on
if
you.
he's cheating, he's
I
cheating.
don't get when y'all say, oh, don't go through his phone because if you go, y'all, I honestly, I don't understand it. I would honestly be so grateful and happy if somebody can explain it to me. The only thing I can think of, I have heard people say if you go looking for something, you're gonna find it, in the sense of you might misinterpret something. Like, you may read something, he may be like, oh, calling somebody sis or babe, and it was a typo. Like, he honestly meant bro, but it said babe. You know what I mean? It might be a misunderstanding. But anything outside of a typo, I don't understand how it's okay to say not to go through your man's phone just because you're gonna find something, because that's not true. I have been through my man's phone plenty of times and I didn't find anything. So I don't know where y'all get like, oh, don't go through his phone because you're gonna find something. That just means that he's a cheater. I honestly promote it. I tell women, if you have an inkling or suspicion that you need to go through your man's phone, go through his phone. That right there is a valid enough reason to go through his phone. Why? Because you have a suspicion for something. Like, your neck not itching for no reason. It's something in that phone. And how explain all the women that have went through their man phone and they have left because they found out that their man was living triple or double lives. Like, this man is married, got 18 kids, got chlamydia, and you ain't know about none of it because you decided, oh, I'm not gonna go through his phone because on Instagram user 299 said not to go through his phone because I'm a baby, I'm gonna go through the phone every time. And I encourage women, if you have an inkling to go through your man phone, go through his phone. Like, I don't even intentionally go through my man phone. Me and my man, we're super open. He can leave his phone right here. I can answer his phone. Like, he's not one of them people, y'all know the men's that's like real stingy when it comes to their phone. Like, he doesn't mind me holding his phone or going through his phone or being on his Instagram. Like, he's not secretive at all. So anytime I go through his phone, it's honestly on accident. Like, I don't pilot, and I be thinking it's my phone because that's how open we are with our phones. But nonetheless, if you feel the need to go through your man phone, I do agree with the statement. All right, you shouldn't be with him, because obviously if you don't have trust, then you don't have anything. But I do not get when people say don't go through his phone because they feel like you're gonna find something. That's not true. I've been through my man's phone plenty of times and I was not weak in the knees afterwards and going through it. And I don't get that one right there. But anyway, y'all, drop some of y'all unpopular opinions. If y'all agree with any of my unpopular opinions, or if y'all disagree, let me know why y'all disagree. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.